Good evening. I would like to call to order the Concord Township Board of Trustees meeting for November 20th, 2024. If you would, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Roll call, please, Mr. Patriarca.
Mrs. Lucci.
Present.
Mr. McIntosh.
Present.
Mr. Dondorf.
Present. Moving into the approval of minutes.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the November 4th, 2024 staff meeting minutes.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. Mr. Chair, I move to approve the November 6th, 2024 public hearing and regular trustees meeting minutes.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye. Mr. Chair, I move to approve November 13th, 2024 special meeting minutes.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
And moving into our elected officials reports for the evening, starting us off will be our fiscal officer, Mr. John Patriarca.
Thank you, Mr. Dondorfer. My report this evening will be brief. The fiscal office has been busy over the past few weeks. I've been working diligently with the department heads, of all the department heads in Concord Township, trying to finalize budgets for the upcoming year. We'll continue our work through the holidays until we have everything wrapped up and we got the ball rolling into 2025. If any residents have specific questions regarding township finances, please do not hesitate to reach out to me directly at 440-354-7516. I'd like to also wish everyone in Concord a happy Thanksgiving and safe travels to anyone planning to visit friends and family. That concludes my report.
Thanks, John. Moving into our trustees reports for the evening and starting us off is Mrs. Lucci.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to remind everyone about a few events coming up. We have our annual tree lighting at the gazebo on Friday, December 6th. We also have our Wreaths Across America event on December 14th to honor our veterans, where we place a wreath on their gravesite. If you wish to sponsor a wreath, you can do that by calling our office for more details. So in Ohio this week, it's Winter Weather Safety Week. Reminder to prepare for the hazards of the season, which we will be having to prepare for real soon, like tomorrow. So just do what you need to do to stay safe all winter. I did attend the OT, Ohio Township Association board meeting last Friday. We did discuss our legislative priorities for the next General Assembly, which will be the 136th. Some of the topics included restoring the local government fund, which was decreased by the state back in 2011, making some changes to the formula distribution, which our own Mr. McIntosh and the Lake County Ad Hoc Committee helped to establish here in our area. Other topics including zoning authority, other increased funding for roads and things like cemeteries. So it was a great meeting. Looking forward to our conference. Lots of great education scheduled, good speakers, so looking forward to that at the end of January. I also had a few calls from residents regarding some economic development and some questions about bus safety, which we took care of. Aside from that, I would also like to wish everyone a wonderful Thanksgiving. Take time to enjoy all the many blessings we all have. I can say I'm very grateful for my friends, family, especially my family and friends here at Concord Township. I hope all of you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I'm most especially grateful this year for, of course, my grandson, Cole.
Awesome.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Mr. McIntosh.
Mr. Chair, haven't been too busy. 911 committee's taken a bunch of time. I did tour Central Dispatch on Friday last with Trustee Hillier from Painesville Township, and we have some more visits around the county as we get into the details of how dispatching works, what the coming technology is, and how all of this is going to be intertwined across Lake County. I had the full committee met this afternoon with representatives from all of the PSAPs from the answering points in Lake County. So we're getting into the meat of it as far as the committee goes. Yesterday I did make an appearance down in front of Senate Finance Committee to do some testimony about not only reauthorizing OPWC funds, but looking for an increase. And we've talked about it here, the challenges local governments have in funding projects, and that OPWC money does quite a bit. Lake County specifically has seen about $1.4 million over the last 5 years. So it is meaningful. Had a chance to talk with Kyle from OTA about local government fund and some other things. I think we need to stay vigilant, stay on top of down in Columbus and advocate for. Did get into some conversation on social media over Quail Hollow and economic development about what's going on there, and I have had a conversation with interested parties, at least in one group, just based on the cost and the way the ownership had been. They've withdrawn for now, so the pool of interested people is lighter by one. Still talking to people, trying to get some interest going there. And tomorrow, as a member of the JED board, I'm going with the JED administrator down to Indianapolis for a regional ICSC event. So we're starting to explore the regional events to see. It's a lot to trek across the country to go to the one in Vegas. They do have some regional events that might be easier to get to and just as productive. So I'll be doing that. I do want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and look forward to the tree lighting just after Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday and all of the wonderful winter weather we get here in the snow belt. That concludes my report.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I also attended the Next Gen 911 meeting with Mr. Morgantosh. He sits on the board that's been put together at the county level that is mandated by law to sort of push this project forward. But I don't know if a lot of our residents know we're going to be transitioning over the next 5 years, right? Yep. From emergency 911 to next generation 911, which is pretty much the backbone of that is geofencing capability instead of a regular landline.
Right.
So it's very involved, and there's several public safety access points throughout the county, and it's a big project, but it looks like it's going to be very beneficial to everyone in the state when they go to that over the next 5 years. I did take a couple questions. We still have a lot of interest on Quail Hollow. I know there's that's in the works with some potential interests. I did have a couple questions around the garbage again, and I know I don't know if you had a couple of those, but I from our perspective, sort of on the back burner here at the township, we had a lot of people that were for and against it, and we're just not moving forward on that really in the near future right now. I did have some other questions about the levy, specifically the policing. And I know that Mr. Rose is working with the sheriff on a contract, and I think we're going to more than likely have something in place at the beginning of the year to make sure that we have those additional deputies that were provided by the levy passage. So that's a good thing for the community. And I also would like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and hope everybody enjoys time with their families. I know I got my girls coming home, so that's exciting. And with that, we will move on to departmental reports, and Mr. Rose, our administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Dondorfer, members of the board, Mr. Patriarca, audience, good evening. I'll start with some items that are on the agenda. Item B is Resolution 2024 TAC 27. This approves the Lake County Solid Waste District's amended 5-year plan. This is a plan that is reviewed and updated every 5 years. We last did this by resolution in 2018. There are no significant changes to the plan, and I recommend approval. Items C and D are votes to repeal the previous vote from the last meeting of zoning text amendment number 3, and then item D is the vote on the corrected language. I continue to work with Mr. Patriarca, our fiscal officer, and the various department heads on formulating the 2025 budget. If you haven't noticed, there's equipment that's been pre-staged, and old Fire Station 1 demolition is underway. They started removing asbestos. Once that is complete, then the backhoe with the claw will start taking the building down in earnest. So probably by the time you come to the next meeting, the landscape will look very different. So it'll be a different look. It's been there for 60 years. Auburn and Girdled Road waterline project continues. Girdled is just about wrapped up. There are some things they'll have to do in the spring as far as the soil and grass restoration, and the line is in, and they're doing some pressure testing with Paynesville Water so that they can sign off on it. There are some challenges that have come up regarding Auburn, which has caused a delay. Auburn roadside will likely be pushed to the spring due to weather and asphalt availability, and it will allow us to still complete the project, still utilize the funding from the state and the county, and we won't incur a lot of additional expenses because of the temperature, asphalt plants on the heels of closing. So it looks like we're going to move that to the spring. And our consulting engineer, Bob Parker, and Jeff Henfling are working with Trax Construction to get that paperwork in place. I should have that probably next week, but I would anticipate that will pick back up in the spring. Apologies for the short notice, but after discussions with the law director, I'm requesting an executive session to be held at the very end of this meeting in order to discuss pending litigation and then also discuss employee compensation and collective bargaining matters. All three of these issues are pursuant to Ohio Revised Code sections 121.22, G1, G3, and G4. So I would recommend that after future meetings and announcements are made, you can go into executive session. I don't anticipate any business taking place after that. So that's the smoothest transition. Next coffee with the administrator is tomorrow at 9 a.m. Look forward to seeing everybody. Remember, this is on the third Thursday due to Thanksgiving. It will be the same way next month due to Christmas. Nobody wanted to have coffee with the administrator on Thanksgiving. I was a little disappointed. But and then as already mentioned, but Wreaths Across America is scheduled for December 14th. It's at noon. It's at noon across the whole country. There is still time to sponsor a wreath to be placed on a veteran's grave. Please visit. If you visit our website, on the rotator on the homepage is a Wreaths Across America tab, and there's lots of information, and there's actually a QR code that you can click on to make it easy to sponsor a wreath for a veteran. So I look forward to seeing everyone there, and that is a rain or shine event, as I'm listening to freezing rain outside the window. And then the tree lighting is coming up on December 6th at 6 p.m. Looking forward to that. As Mr. Dondorfer mentioned, I am working with Chief Deputy Izzo. I anticipate that we will have a contract for trustees' consideration probably at the second meeting in December and to go into effect so that we have additional road patrols starting January 1st.
Right.
That is what we are working towards, and that is the goal. So we're excited to get that going. And then finally, I too wish everyone a very happy and safe Thanksgiving. I hope everybody gets all the turkey they can handle. And that concludes my report. Thank you,
Mr. Rose. Okay, moving into our audience portion. There's no one here this evening. Old business, seeing that we have none, we will move into the new business for the evening with several votes.
Mr. Chair, move to approve the the October financial report.
And I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye. Mr. Chair, I move to approve Resolution 2024-27, approving the Lake County Solid Waste Management District amended plan 5-year update, July 2024.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, move to repeal the vote on the motion regarding zoning text amendment number 3, as the motion was inconsistently worded with the intend motion to approve the modifications as discussed November 6, 2024 public hearing and meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I can do this
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve zoning text amendment number 3, revising section 15.03A, general requirements for accessory building as recommended by the zoning commission with the following modifications. For subsection 8, add the word each between buildings and not, and delete the words a combined total of. For subsection 10, add the word total between the first word the and square, delete the words detached or, and add s to the word building. Insert new subsection 11 stating the square footage of any detached accessory building shall not exceed the square footage of the principal building on the lot, but shall also not exceed the maximums permitted above in section 1503A7 or 1503A8.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Nope, that's a roll call vote.
Oh,
I'm
roll
sorry,
call
because
vote.
it's a zoning
Okay.
text amendment.
Mrs. Lucci,
Yes.
Mr. McIntosh,
Yes.
Mr. Dondorfer.
Yes. Okay, and that leads us to our future meetings and announcements with Mr. Patriarca.
Thank you, Mr. Dondorfer. On November 28th and 29th, Town Hall will be closed to observe Thanksgiving. On December 2nd at 3 p.m., there will be a staff meeting at Town Hall. On December 3rd at 7 p.m., Zoning Commission will meet at Town Hall. On December 4th at 4 p.m., trustee office hours in the conference room, immediately followed by the 5 p.m. trustee meeting at Town Hall.
Excuse me, Mr. Rose, aren't we changing that one to 5?
Yeah, we are.
Sorry,
Oh,
you're
I
right.
apologize.
Yes, that's
5
okay.
o'clock.
Yeah, that's,
All right.
I apologize.
That's okay.
December 4th, trustee office hours will begin at 5 p.m. in the conference room, and we'll follow that immediately with the trustee meeting at 6 p.m.
Yes.
here at Town Hall. Thank you, Mrs. Lucci, for the correction.
Thank you. And then, Mr. Chair, I move to enter executive session to discuss pending litigation pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 121.22G3 and to discuss employee collective bargaining and employee compensation pursuant to ORC 121.22G1 and 4, and to have Ms. Matheny, Mr. Patriarca, and Mr. Rose join in the executive session.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
oh, need a second.
Second.
Thank you.
Mrs. Lucci,
Yes.
Mr. McIntosh,
Yes.
Mr. Dondorfer.
Yes. Okay, and that concludes our meeting this evening. We will move into executive session. Good evening.